So before we start digging in, because we're going to talk about melanin-rich skin, all about melanin-rich skin, which I'm really excited to have that conversation with you. But before we dig in to that topic, I do think there was a little something that, yeah, I know you're giggling, I'm giggling because we're both really kind of giddy over it, but that you would like.
I'm goofy though, Taryn.
You're goofy over it? All right.
Yeah.
That you want to share with everybody. Have you made any announcements at all, or is this going to be your
I
debut?
made little tidbits here and there.
Okay, okay.
But I was kind of just waiting for all of it to kind of pan out.
All right.
It happened. And I am so excited that I am going to be having a melanin-rich skin line with LI Pigments.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And the colors are going to have some contrast. So that's what, I find with melanin inks, a lot of times all the colors kind of look the same.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm going to come in and kind of make it melanin-rich skin, but more of like a multicultural melanin-rich skin. Whether you have yellow undertones or, bluish, from like fits 3 all the way to 6. And I'm going off of like, I know people don't use it all the time, but the Lancer Fitzpatrick scale of the regions of where people, where people make up those regions, like from South Asian. Sometimes they're darker than me, Taryn.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when we're talking melanin rich, right? I think.
Yeah, we're not just talking about, but I have to say it because sometimes when you talk about melanin rich, you automatically go to only black.
Right. Like you think the black women, black clients.
Yes, yes. And not that I'm opposed to that. I am a black woman to my core. But because of the diverse types of clients that I have worked on, I've seen a lot. And I really wanted to create something that was for everyone and in between that fits 3 and fits 6. Now, we all know that the Fitzpatrick scale is a guide. It doesn't cover everyone, but you can use it to your advantage to kind of look at like your skins, your client's skins and their undertones.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, Taryn, your book is amazing.
So Beyond the Epidermis.
Definitely need to go check that out, and because it will really help you in your practice so much. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much like what I want to create. I have this inspiration where, like, they used to have like all these products, Taryn, for hair, right? All these products for hair, but they never catered to like the people in between. It was like, it was like black or white, like,
right.
And then what about the curly hair? Like, like multicultural, like everything, like in between. So that's kind of what I'm doing with the pigments.
Yeah.
It's filling in the gaps in between and just not trying to leave anyone out of those gaps, but still creating a line for melanin-rich skin. And I don't even know how else to put it. I forget the girls that it was Mixed Chicks. So they made the company Mixed Chicks, and it was the first time in life that I didn't have to buy 10 products to put in my hair. Like,
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what I want to, kind of mix into the tattoo world, so we could, do better and have better healed work. And I will tell you that it's not all about the pigment. So I'm not saying that. You got to know your techniques per skin type, your needles, all that kind of stuff too. But a good high quality ink and product can make it a lot easier.
Yeah, understood. A lot of artists when their colors aren't coming back as expected, a lot of them, automatically blame the pigment, and the artist is equally as responsible, if not more.
I agree.
Than the pigment manufacturer, right? Because we can have, the best quality, highest quality, color balanced pigments. And if they're being used on the wrong skin type, if the wrong technique is being applied, if you're going too deep, too shallow, all kinds of outside variables and factors, then that, wonderful, beautiful, perfectly color balanced pigment may not perform, and it may come back.
No, a lot of times it'll go back to the base, base color, because
exactly.
you're not applying
exactly.
it correctly.
But you know what really kind of gets my goat these days, to me, and I don't know if it's generational, but a lot of people don't want to put the work in. They don't want to study, and they don't want to pay for good quality color theory classes and invest in this knowledge. I mean, we have, LI wrote a color index, like a CIC, and it is so in depth with each color, the base, description, how cool it is, the temperature of the pigment.
Yes.
I mean, it's like a Bible for all the colors in the aqua and velvet line. And, everybody has access to that, yet not very many people read it. We will get the most basic questions even after emailing them the CIC. And so, yeah, it can be really frustrating sometimes.
Oh, no, I get frustrated a lot. A whole lot.
And you know how I feel? To me, I feel if you really love something, if you love this craft,
you master it.
You want to master it. No one has to ask you to put the hours in, the hundreds and thousands of hours in that it takes to learn the science, learn the theory, master the skills. No one should have to ask you that. It shouldn't be a chore. It should just be something that you naturally want to do if you love this craft, and this is what you've chosen to do for the rest of your life. Yet we're seeing a huge percentage of artists not doing that, and I don't really understand why. I don't understand it.
I get so many DMs with retention problems.
Yes.
I get DMs where the color shifted or changed, and I'm like, I just use that color, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, I think what the industry's figuring out,
because the thing is, you can't learn this in 2 days, Tim.
No.
You have to, even after class, even if you took a 2-week class, okay, you still have to continue education. 7 years in, 10 years in, whatever the case is, you can't let your ego get in the way and be like, oh, I know this, I know everything. A lot of times they'll blame it on the client as well. They'll be like, oh, well, the client
bled, or the client picked, or they didn't follow aftercare, right? There's all kinds of excuses.
Exactly.
Except looking at, their own selves and their own choices, right? That they made on that particular client. And I think a lot of the problem that is now finally coming to light, because, a year ago, 2 years or 3 years, you couldn't even mention the single needle without people getting so upset with you. Like that, like choosing the single needle, using the single needle on every single skin. I mean, doesn't work. And that
it does not work.
It does not work.
Tear up some skin.
But you couldn't say that a while back to me, and then because all the artists that use the single needle, the industry would just come, they would just they'll come for you. But I never stopped, talking about that. But I don't talk about it in an disrespectful way towards a single needle. I like all needles. All needles have a place. I'm a tattooer, for Pete's sake. But when you're when you have the majority of the industry out there using the single needle and only 1 or 2 movements, whip shading, maybe pendulum, on every single skin, every single skin type, well, you're going to end up a frustrated artist, not getting the results you want for your client.
It's not going to be
a lot. It's not going to be consistent. Yeah, and you learned that the hard way.
That's what made me better, and I started venturing out and doing other things because that's how I was taught to.
I'm going to say this: I
was taught with a single needle. Don't use anything else. Always use. Well, when I first started, I used the inorganic ink, but it was like, don't venture out to other inks. Don't and it's just simply not true. And then for like about my first year and a half, 2 years, I would wonder, like, why would and I'll be honest, it would always be the clients with like the younger skin or not thick skin or things of that nature, maybe not like high melanin skin, maybe clients from like 25 to 35, they would always come back fine.
Right.
If they had nice skin.
Right.
But it's the other clients, which I say, Taryn, I feel like that is the majority. What you see on social media is only what people want to show you.
That's right. The pretty stuff.
Right? So that's not really who you're booking. Like, if you're really, truly, like, really booked and you're really busy, you're getting all types of skin types.
Right.
I get everything from a 80-year-old lady to, I had a lady come all the way from Africa to come and see me because she's like, I have not seen myself on anybody's page where it looks nice. Like, I do think that sometimes being different does kind of like put you in like a box of your own.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's okay. And at first, the first couple of years, I would really struggle with that. And then after, like, you know what?
I've always been different too, Tamia. Versatile, curious, thoughtful, and being different. Sometimes we get ostracized for being different. Sometimes you can get, praised for being different. But I think what being different, we're trendsetters. When you're different, you're a trendsetter. You need to be different to be a trendsetter.
That's right.
And so that's what I love about artists that are, different. They're speaking up and they're getting, honest information out there to other artists and the industry.
For sure.
Yeah. And Instagram, me too.
I totally agree.
I talk about Instagram all the time. It's like people are filtering and it should be not allowed. I don't know. It should be not allowed because it's so misrepresentative of what the clients really look like when they leave our studios. And you never see the healed work. They're just posting highly filtered, pictures of, their ombre brows, and the videos are being filtered now. And that's just not real life. So,
no. And the thing is, I watch tattoo artists all the time. I have several tattoos. I ask them so many questions when I get my own tattoos. And it's that kind of sad because they don't respect us because of that.
No, they do not. No, the body tattoo industry has never really respected us, Tamia, because I was a body tattoo artist for many, 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 many years. So I would see my permanent makeup clients during the day, and I'd be down to the tattoo shop by, about 5. And I would tattoo in the tattoo shop, all evening long. So I was, I had, a foot in both industries, and I used to, my fellow tattoo artists, they all loved me. I had a great relationship with them, but boy, didn't they like to poke fun and give me shit, about our industry and, how we do things and all that stuff. And now, they talk about all the filtered work and how it's just so not real. And I think my biggest problem with it is it's such a disservice to the new artists coming in the industry, because you and I, people that are a little bit more veteran, we know that that's all filtered and fake. That's not real. People like you and I, right? People like you and I that are veterans, we're not trying to live up to those expectations, and we're not comparing our work to that because it's not real. But these new artists coming in, that there are new artists that don't know that, and they are looking to that filtered work they're seeing on Instagram. They are comparing themselves and their work to that on Instagram, and they're feeling defeated, if not depressed and discouraged and ready.
Sure.
Yes, I mean, we hear it all the time at Girlz Inc. We get so many messages on that.
I hear, and I always have to tell them, listen, that is definitely, if you went to their class or you saw what they did in person, and not that it's bad or anything. I'm not saying that. There's some awesome artists out there, but the thing is, you know what, Taryn, even too light and airy, I just learned over time that just doesn't even work. It doesn't work.
It doesn't even heal in the skin, Tamia.
It doesn't heal in the skin properly.
I could go on Instagram right now and probably show you 100 eyebrows that when you blow them up and look at them, there's hardly any pigment in there. There's hardly nothing in there. It is not going to withstand the 7-day healing process. It's not going to be there. And then how does the client feel about that? How does the client feel about that?
My clients would be pissed.
My clients would be pissed. They don't want to keep coming back. I mean, you're
talking about $600 to $900 people charge.
Right? Yeah.
You need to give them what they pay for. Now, I'm not saying not to have you need to have conversations with the client and know what they want, but you need to do proper saturation on brows, even lips, or whatever tattoo, permanent makeup work that you're doing. Right. It has to be properly saturated. And I used to when I first started saturating my work more, I mean, they would come for me, Taryn. They'd be like, oh my God, that's so dark, or that's whatever. And I would be thinking, well, dang, it's not even that dark to me. Like,
Yeah.
But the thing is, when I started mastering healed work, I would say about 3.5 years ago, my work is very consistent. It comes back healed beautifully. Sometimes not even needing a touch up. It comes back the way I intended it to look.
That's right. That's right. And you can predict your healed results now.
That's right.
You said something very key. You focus and mastered on your healed result, not focusing and trying to master the fresh look to impress, Instagram.
100%.
Right. And that's
100%.
Right.
That's so much more important to me. And people don't realize you get so much more referrals that way.
100%. Yeah.
100%.
Exactly.